Hello, and welcome to Well, That's Interesting, the podcast. Today we have the your neighbors smoked so much weed that they managed to somehow hotbox your apartment edition.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in our lives right now. Everything smells like weed, yet we have no weed.
We've done nothing.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here.
We're just sitting here.
Still at an angle. The bed's still broken.
Probably getting high.
Which is fine. Which is really funny because this episode is about getting high.
Oh, really?
In a way, actually. So it's kind of convenient.
Amazing. Well, I'm here with the amazing Jill Cha-Cha.
That is true.
And
That's a fact.
I'm Marissa Riley, and I'm okay. But Jill, why don't you tell us what we're talking about today?
You're also amazing and at an angle. Fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Episode 028. We're going to talk about LA's mysterious jetpack guy.
Fuck yeah.
And before we get into that, now we're going to say the word jetpack a lot in this episode.
Good.
So if you want to make it a fun/dangerous drinking game, like have a sip of something each time we say jetpack.
Yeah, but like a small sip.
Yeah. And then write in letting us know like how fucked up you become.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us all about it. Or if you don't remember it, tell us that too. That time I got drunk because of a podcast. I can't wait to see that subject line in our inbox.
That's right. wellthatsinterestingpod@gmail.com.
There you go. Write us.
Okay. So should we begin talking about LA's mysterious jetpack guy?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, so there was a lot going on in the terrible, god-awful fall of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So it's no surprise that our subject today went very much under the press's radar, no pun intended. But back on August 30th, 2020, around 6:45 in the evening, an American Airlines pilot contacted air traffic controllers at LAX and provided some truly unusual info. AA Flight 1997 was approximately 3,000 feet in the air and 10 miles from the landing strip when the pilot radioed in. Just a mere 300 yards from the plane, there was, quote, a guy in a jetpack.
What?
Yeah.
Tony Stark, is that you?
So, another pilot radioed in shortly after, this one from SkyWest Flight 3961, quote, we just saw the guy passing by us in the jetpack.
What?
End quote.
What's this guy doing?
So, would you like to play the LAX traffic controller in this short excerpt from the transcript that evening?
Yes, I'm LAX.
You're LAX.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. JetBlue 23, use caution. A person in a jetpack reported 300 yards south of the LA final at about 3,000 feet, 10-mile final.
JetBlue 23, we heard and we're definitely looking.
Only in LA.
That's right.
And seen.
And seen.
And seen.
Yeah. So luckily, all three planes landed safely. Needless to say, a speeding human body a mere 300 yards from a plane engine could cause some major fucking problems.
For sure.
Now, from the October LA Times article, is someone really flying around LAX in a jetpack? Quote, airliners are designed to withstand getting hit by small objects, but a big metal object is another matter, especially if it were sucked into an engine.
Yeah.
The engines aren't designed to consume something large in metal or something with fuel that's going to burn or explode, said Mike Hirschberg, the executive director of the Vertical Flight Society, a nonprofit professional organization.
Huh.
That could potentially be catastrophic for an airplane. You could potentially have an engine explode and bring down the airliner, and potentially hundreds of people could die, end quote.
Oh my God. Okay, I just want to pause that this didn't just happen any year. This happened in 2020.
Sure did.
Deep 2020.
Deep.
Not even like early 2020 when we had no idea.
No.
We were like, lol, coronavirus. This happened long after it.
Yeah.
So that means that some guy had the audacity in the middle of all this shit to cause more shit.
To cause more shit.
What the fuck?
That's exactly
I don't
right.
need more shit.
No one needs more shit. Especially this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bummer. And what's also a bummer is that the FAA told local Fox News 11 that they turned their report over to the LAPD for investigation. But the LAPD says they never received any such report, so nothing came of the pilot's testimonial.
Oh my God, lack of organization? You guys! Get an executive assistant!
Something, please.
Give her health insurance.
Yes, very important.
This is coming from an executive assistant with health insurance who does her job.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
You would have communicated this. This is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I read my emails, not to brag.
Now, for a bit, all was silent. No further official sightings occurred for over a month until mid-October, when a China Airlines pilot about 7 miles north of LAX reported seeing this jetpack dude at an altitude now of 6,000 feet, more than a mile up.
Oh my God.
Now, this was middle of the day, too, around 1:45 in the afternoon, when there's plenty of air traffic. So,
What?
Yeah, so Jetpack Dude is getting more daring, going farther up and further out. So I think it's time to see a photo of this supposed Jetpack Dude
Yes.
in action. What do you say?
Yes.
All right, so the photo I'm going to show you is actually a still from a video I'm also going to show you. There's a shit ton of videos today, and everyone, please follow along. I'm going to tell you where you can look it up. Please follow in real time. The photo will also be on our Instagram, wellthatsinterestingpod, and if you want to check out this video, head over to YouTube and search Sling Pilot Academy, okay?
All right.
But first, let's look at this still for a minute.
Sure.
Okay, so there you'll see a pilot in training captured this thing back on December 21st near the Palos Verdes city in California, about 3,000 feet up. Let's start with this still. What do you see?
Since I know what it is, it looks like what it is. It's like it's a blurry image of a tiny man with a tiny backpack-looking thing.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know what that was, I would say it kind of looks like a bug.
It does look like a bug, yeah.
But it's very blurry.
The still is very blurry, but the video is super crisp, and it just shows how fast this thing was really going. So please describe this dramatically scored clip. I'm going to pull it up right now.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, so here we go.
All right. Okay, all right, I'm seeing a video. I'm seeing clouds, water. There he is! He's flying close to a shore. He's going very fast. Over the water. Zooming along.
Very dramatic score.
The score is actually doing it for me. The score is making this video really fun.
Okay, this is a good shot of him.
This is a good shot. Okay, yeah. He's got legs. He's got a little body. It looks kind of alien, but I have watched 1.5 alien movies today. So everything looks like an alien to me right now.
Yeah, but it definitely had a human form. Definitely had like a bat, like they're like little legs dangling.
Yeah, it's a little person.
It's a little person.
I mean, it's probably a regular sized person, but from a distance, it's like a little tiny Lego man. Flying Lego.
There you go. So after the break, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the possible explanations of who or what this damn thing could be.
Oh, please.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Fly on back.
Hello, everyone. You may recognize me as Gabby from the History of Everything podcast.
And my name is Brenna, and you don't recognize me from anything yet.
Together, we're two scientists who explore all of the weird little questions and conspiracies of the universe in our new podcast, Mystery of Everything. Everything has an explanation.
We hope.
But that is what we're here to figure out. We will dive into the science behind many popular conspiracy theories, such as vaccines causing autism, flat earth theory, and was the moon landing fake? And if so, why the heck would anyone even do that?
But it's not just conspiracies. There's a lot of cool mysteries that we will attempt to use science to explain, such as near-death experiences, what made the Vikings go berserk, and can I control my co-host with MK Ultra?
Wait, what? Anyway, make sure to check out the Mystery of Everything podcast everywhere where you find your podcasts.
Hello everyone, Stakuyi here,
And I'm Gabby.
and we are the hosts of History of Everything, a podcast which you can probably guess by the name is, well, it's about everything. Do you want to know why people thought potatoes were evil and would give you syphilis? Are you curious about all the stories of the terrible and stupid ways that people have kicked the bucket over the years? Do you want to hear tales about all of the different badasses of history and the lives that they had brought to life? Well, if so, then look no further. History of Everything is just the right podcast for you. It's available on Spotify, Pandora, and anywhere else that you get your podcast from. Join us for some fun and just see how weird and wacky history can be.
Hello,
Hi,
that's Wayne,
and that's Ashley.
and we're the hosts of the Slay Queens podcast.
The Slay Queens podcast is a true crime podcast dedicated to the discussion of indignities and injustices suffered by the LGBTQIA2S+ community. With a touch of humor and emphasis on the importance of equality and healthy coexistence, Ashley and I,
Take a deep dive into the dark side of the rainbow.
that we do.
We are available to stream wherever you're listening to this podcast.
So go out and slay queens.
Just not each other.
Just not each other.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms, so when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. And we're back.
We are so back.
We're so back. Marissa changed her pants.
I changed my pants. Also, I just wanted to say I'm pumped to figure out who the fuck this guy is. I've had many theories in the last 30 seconds. Is he an idiot? Is he a superhero? And those are my two theories. It's
Okay,
got
those
to
are
be
good.
one or the other.
Those are good odds. 50-50, those are good odds.
Okay.
We're so going to get into it, and I can't wait for you to see all the stuff.
Okay. Tell me.
So, we're back. And for those who are playing the drinking game at home, we hope you're okay, because in this half of the episode, we're just going to say Jetpack a shit ton more. Okay?
Fuck yeah.
So, we have sightings. We have video. Is Jetpack guy real? Is it possible? Well, let's take a look at what is possible.
Okay.
So, if you wanted to straight up buy a functional jetpack that would make all your zoomy zoom dreams come true, you do have a small handful of options. Just to make sure you have an enormous fistful of cash, though.
Yeah, I feel like this is along the lines of buying a drone or a boat.
Yes.
Or
somewhere between drone and boat.
yeah.
A,
Or
a boat of the sky.
yeah.
Which
A
would
boat
be
of the
Which
sky.
would be a plane. Hold on, sorry.
Oh, man.
Just give me a minute.
It's okay. It's okay.
A boat
I'll
of
let
the
you
sky.
recover.
I'll be all right.
It's all right. We're going to move
We're going to move
forward.
on. Fistful of cash. So, let's just get back to the notes. Just before all things went to hell in March 2020, February 2020 was one successful month for the company Jetman Dubai.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right. We're in Dubai, and, quote, one of their pilots executed a successful ground-level takeoff that transitioned into a high-altitude flight. Now, all previous takeoffs had been from an elevated platform, i.e. helicopters and the like. This time around, though, Jetman Vince Refit blasted off like a real man,
Like a real man.
Wow, that is problematic. That is... Delete. Jetman Vince Refit blasted off like a real-life Iron Man straight from the runway at Skydive Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, end quote. And would you like to see some truly fucking awesome footage?
Yes.
Okay, so that last quote was from Gizmodo.com. From the article, watch this jetpack pilot zip around like a real-life Iron Man And you can see the video at that article, or you could also look it up on YouTube if you search Jetman Dubai Takeoff 4K. Okay? Now, Marissa, for our beautiful and probably very drunk listeners by now,
Heck yeah.
can you please describe this jetpack, the scene, and the overall flight of this guy?
I would be honored.
Okay, so I am getting Jetman Dubai Takeoff 4K up, and this is about 40 seconds in, and we're going to watch a little bit of it, and then we're going to watch him land.
Ooh,
Because
sounds
it's kind of
good.
important. Okay, ready?
Yeah, let's
Here we
do it.
go.
All right. I'm going to start talking about it. I
Let's do
see
it.
a guy in a little outfit. Oh, he's got a jetpack that's very wide, and he just sort of levitated in the air.
Yeah.
And now he's calmly levitating around this sort of like runway.
Yes,
He's putting his hands up, no hands.
that's right. So, compared to the jetpack that we saw earlier, and the sound that it's making, what's the difference?
So this jetpack looks very expensive, very futuristic, and it kind of makes like a triangle on his back.
Yeah.
Whereas, and it's very loud, and this guy has like a little bug outfit on.
Yeah.
And the other guy, he had more of like what you would imagine a jetpack from like a cartoon.
Yeah,
Silver and no bug outfit.
exactly. Now, would you like to see him, like, take off? Like, for real, for real?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Whoa. Okay, so he just, in this video, he just took off from the platform like as if he was a tiny plane.
yeah.
Like his body was a plane and it just shot straight up into the air. Now we're seeing like kind of a POV from one of the wings and from him as well.
This is about a minute in, and yeah, this is a camera on the wing, and it's he's really high up.
He is straight up flying. This is a person who's flying.
You can totally see so much of Dubai. You can see the ocean. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Now, this is an important part. What do you see here?
Oh, it looks like for his descent, he has released a parachute.
There you go.
And he is gently falling back to Earth.
There you go. And
There we
he
go.
landed safely.
Very easy.
Very easy.
I mean, not easy. It actually looked very expensive and like it took a lot of training and an outfit and money, and there were like 20 people waiting for him on the ground.
Yeah, you saw the amount of people running after him just to make sure he's okay.
Yeah. So not easy at all.
No. It looked fucking terrifying.
It looked really scary, and I actually have no desire to do it. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm going to pass on a big no to space, jetpacks, and most camping.
Right. So mostly very much in the sky and very much on the ground is a no for you.
Yes.
That's okay. Good.
But in the water, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, y'all. Okay, so what officially happened here, quote, the manually controlled carbon fiber wingsuit he's wearing is powered by four mini jet engines, and they've got enough kick to shoot him more than 3,000 feet or 1,000 meters into the air in just 30 seconds. During his 3-minute flight, he zipped along at nearly 150 miles per hour, reaching nearly 6,000 feet or 1,800 meters in altitude. That's roughly twice as high as the world's tallest skyscraper.
Holy shit. I'd also like to add that if you watch the video, I know we've made references to Iron Man several times in various articles that Jill has mentioned, but he does look like Iron Man. I'm not even kidding. It's like he swirls around.
He did like a little flip and shit.
He did a little flip. So it looks like a superhero.
Like a superhero. Also, here's an important side note, continuing the quote. Successfully executing the flight took roughly 50 preparatory runs, as well as 100 takeoffs and landings using a cable with the added safety of a fall-arresting system, end quote, from Gizmodo.com.
Wow.
Yes, my friends, flying isn't easy. Well, for humans anyway. We're heavy. We're the farthest thing from aerodynamic. And if you're anything like me, you're a fucking klutz. I could barely walk around the apartment without bumping into something. So
Yeah, I'm sitting on broken furniture, so I'm in the same boat.
So to get a sense of how difficult it is to get a human body up in the atmosphere, let's head back to Los Angeles and to the San Fernando Valley. This is the home of another company, Jetpack Aviation.
Uh-huh.
Now, they boast to have invented what they call, quote, the world's only true jetpack, end quote. And I have to say, this fucking thing is actually a jetpack. Like one you'd imagine as a kid. It's super cool. And here's a picture of it right off their site, jetpackaviation.com. Now I'm going to pull it up right now for you. What does it look like?
It looks like a jetpack, man. It's exactly, close your eyes, think of jetpack, and this is what you'll see. It's a little man. The packs are on his back. He's got little hand controls.
Yeah.
And right in front of him, he's got a little helmet, and he's in the air. So, I mean, it looks like, I feel like it just looks like a cartoon. It looks like something from The Simpsons.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Now, if you have $5,000 to spare, you're in luck.
Oh.
Now, for a limited time, at this price, you get 2 days rather than the usual one. They're having a sale, by the way.
My God.
I was on their website. They're having a sale for $5,000. Now, for 2 days, you get training with a team of people to help you master the JB-10 jetpack, and that's what that guy was wearing. You get 3 flights each day, plus lunch, drinks, and insurance. So that's great.
I like that drinks are included.
Yeah.
I hope it's a post-flight drink, because I'm imagining cocktails.
Dude, you gotta, if I'm spending $5,000, I've got a cocktail in my hand.
I would pay $5,000 to see you in the jetpack holding a cocktail
Fuck yes.
and not
Yes.
spilling it, because I know you would be smooth as fuck.
I'll do
I like
my
how we were
best.
just talking about how clumsy we were, and I was like, Jill's about to fly with a cocktail. NBD.
I'll do my damn best. I'll do my best. I also highly recommend watching the video under the tab Fly the Jetpack. There's a video of like 2 or 3 middle-aged guys just having the time of their lives figuring out how to use this thing, all while being surrounded by twice as many people making sure nothing blows up. But they're also having a good time too. It's fantastic. Please go watch it. Now, more about the Jetpack Training School.
Amazing.
Quote, this program will take you step by step through all the flight maneuvers, including takeoff and landing, hovering and forward and backward and sideways flight, all with the safety of our tether system.
What?
Yes, it is really safe, so please don't worry about that. We have spent years refining the operation, and you will always be on the safety cable and have an instructor that can take control at any time, end quote. So,
That's really smart.
yeah.
Kind of like skydiving. People usually skydive
With
strapped
somebody.
to a person. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, you're wearing the jetpack, and then the jetpack is like anchored to something.
That's very intelligent.
Yeah. And the goal is in about 10 days, if you can afford 10 days of training, in 10 days, you'll be coordinated enough to fly off the tether.
Oh, la la.
But unfortunately, there's no video of that, so hopefully all went well with those middle-aged dudes. Godspeed. If you want to apply, you do have to fill out an application that has a couple of questions. And can you please do the honor of reading some of those questions on that application?
I would love to.
All right, hold on. Let me pull those up for you.
All right. Okay.
Here we go.
Quote, do you have back problems? Do you suffer from high blood pressure? Do you have a history of cardiovascular problems? Do you have any muscle control, nerve, or coordination problems? End of the quote.
End of quotes. So yeah, they can reject your application and reject it, quote, for any reason or no reason at all. If you have paid any monies and we reject your application, then all funds will be refunded. We are not required to tell you why we rejected your application. End quote.
I think they should ask more specific questions.
It's a long application. They even
Really?
they ask you everything from like not only your date of birth to like your shoe size and like there's many questions.
Can
on
they
this thing.
reject you on your shoe size?
They probably have
Ma'am, your feet are too large. They're making me uncomfortable.
Next. So, yeah. Flying is fun, but yes, as seen here, you really need to know what you're doing, and it takes a village to raise someone up. And if Jetpack Guy is a dude, well, there's probably a lot of people helping him out, and they're oddly silent about it. And if you're wondering if it could be any of these instructors or trainees flying about, that's a good question. One, it does look like Jetpack Guy is using very different equipment. If you look at the video when you play it, it's also really loud.
Yeah.
But it looks a little different.
It looks completely different than these like nice companies.
Yeah. So, and two, quote, because of fuel constraints, JB-10 Jetpack can actually reach only about 1,000 to 1,500 feet off the ground safely. To fly up to 6,000 feet from the ground, to fly around long enough to be seen by China Airlines, and then to descend again, you'd be out of fuel, said Chief Executive David Mayman.
Wow. So did he have his own, like, special jetpack? What's going on here? Was he dropped from somewhere?
Yeah. So there's no video of him being dropped anywhere, but this is, like, a really good example of how it's definitely not these folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that last quote was from the Los Angeles Times article that we mentioned earlier. So, along with safety, fuel clearly is a big issue to overcome. It adds weight to your pack. It burns quickly. And it's super unlikely that Jetpack Guy is wearing better technology than Dubai's carbon fiber wingsuit and its 4 mini jet engines.
Seriously, nothing is ever going to be cooler than that.
So, yeah, and even that guy, he had to land with a parachute because probably he also ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no evidence, like you said, of another aircraft anywhere in the vicinity. It would have come up on the FAA radar. Yeah. So
absolutely.
This guy just like popped out of nowhere. So this head scratcher piqued the interest of John Greenwald Jr. Okay? Now, John runs a website called The Black Vault.
Ooh.
Okay? And its tagline says it all. Exposing government secrets one page at a time.
Sounds like a fun conspiracy website.
It's a fucking fantastic website. I highly recommend, if you got 1 to 4 hours to spend just reading government files.
Ooh,
this one's
so
for you.
Not even conspiracy, it's just legit.
It's legit files, yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So from the website, theblackvault.com, can you read really like what this website's about?
I would love to. All right. Quote, you've stumbled upon the largest privately run online repository of declassified government documents anywhere in the world. With more than 2 million pages of documents to read on nearly every government secret imaginable, the Black Vault is known worldwide for getting down to the truth. ... and nothing but.
That's right.
End quote.
That's right. I'm going to continue the quote for a minute.
Not end quote.
Every page, photo, and video you see below in this FOIA document archive has been obtained through the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, or through other means of accessing U.S. government public information, end quote. So there you go.
There you go.
That's right, folks. John may have gotten to the bottom of this jetpack debacle. And it was really rather simple how he did it. So he just requested the full correspondence between the pilots and the FBI officials, and he got it.
Ask for that?
Yeah, and they gave it to him.
If I write them and I'm like, what's all this shit about aliens happening in the news? Will they just send me an email back?
They'll send you stuff. Yeah, you just have. There's a way to like get your FOIA. You just fill out. You just fill out the form.
Okay, let's FOIA the fuck out of this alien shit that I won't go into, but I am very curious.
There's a shit ton of UFO stuff on this site too, by the way. Ooh. So I think John did a lot of the work for you. So
okay, I'll just go to the website. That sounds a lot easier than contacting the government.
So remember the very first sighting by the American Airlines flight, 1997?
Yes.
That one way back in August. Okay, so when the pilot was interviewed by agents, he brought up a YouTube video. Now, I'm not going to say anything, but I want you to watch the video. And for our drunk folks at home, I'm slightly drunk. Drunk folks at home, On YouTube, look for Spectacular Stunning RC Flying Man. Now, I'm going to play it right here, and I want you to tell us, what do you see in this video?
All right, so it's a guy in a camo outfit. And he has a jetpack question mark, but it looks like it's little fans.
There you go.
Does that make sense? He's like, there are little fans attached to him.
Yeah. What do you think that the human, though, is?
Oh, it's not a person.
There you go.
Is that a mannequin?
There you go.
Oh, it's not real. Oh my gosh, it's a little mannequin. I didn't even realize.
There you go.
Oh, that is hilarious. It's a goddamn toy.
And it's landing right now. There you go. And there's that guy controlling it.
Oh, it's like a drone that looks like a person. It's a person drone.
There you go.
Oh
Fucking
my
hell.
gosh.
Yeah, so that was Spectacular Stunning RC Flying Man. Now, that pilot just happened to see this exact video and probably witnessed the very same thing in real life. Quote, that YouTube video was shot near an airfield in Germany and shows a cameo-clad mannequin borne aloft by a powerful duocopter drone. End quote.
That's totally what that is.
And that was from Gizmodo.com. And what's a duocopter, you ask? Well, it's the complete opposite of a complicated jetpack. It's just a drone with 2 motors and 2 fan blades. But I think we should let the company that makes this drone speak for itself. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, so let's head over to research-drone.com and then just play the video that pops up and you can learn about this new and improved drone. Here we go.
Our flying duocopter is a unique drone manufactured from an advanced algorithm that features only 2 flight propellers. The motor controller comes standard with the advanced algorithm on it, and the duocopter requires no additional motors or actors. Its technology is protected by patents. Here's a look at how it works. The device works with 1-bladed propellers. The rotation speed changes very fast during every rotation, according to the flight controller signals. So if the model should rotate right, the propeller is at a higher speed at the left-hand side and produces more propulsion there. Thus, the model rotates to the right-hand side. Sounds a little too simple, right? Well, let's take a closer look. This unit requires a series of special calculations by the motor controller in real time. However, this is done by an optimized algorithm on the standard ESC. What makes the duocopter so amazing is its high efficiency and simple design. When the propeller is slowed down, this energy loads the battery like a flywheel energy storage. While there are lots of other drone technologies out there, no one comes close to offering the many advantages the duocopter provides. Some of these advantages include portability, small silhouette, high performance, zero obstruction design and free airflow, long flight routes, high efficiency and long flight time, robust and easy construction, less cables, less parts, and less expensive. Requires only 2 motors. No propeller interference with drone videos because the algorithm is designed to provide signals to the camera when there is free sight. This new technique provides you with an opportunity to do much more. Regardless of whether it's a monocopter, aircraft, or boat with only 1 propeller, you won't need anything else. And the best part is, this innovative technology is very scalable to fit all sizes and demands. So if you are interested in using this new technology in...
Pause. So yeah, that is a duocopter. And it's, as you can hear, you can go really high, really far for very cheap.
There you go.
So Jetpack Guy just maybe a mannequin strapped to this drone being controlled by somebody just dicking around LAX.
Yeah.
And I know that's a little disappointing. So I wanted to end on a note that will make everyone smile.
Yeah.
Okay. So I looked up if something like this ever happened before.
Oh, yeah?
And it has happened in the best way possible.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay? So let's go to the amazing country of Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're back in 2014, and clothing retailer Camisaria of Colombo showcased their Black Friday deals by attaching mannequins to drones. And those mannequins were fully dressed in clothing that was on sale.
I love it. I was just thinking, why didn't we dress this drone mannequin in something cooler?
Exactly. They hovered over Sao Paulo in like an aerial fashion show that you could, of course, watch on YouTube. Search Flying Collection Colombo Black Friday. Now, I'd like you to describe this comical but really effective fashion show.
I would love to.
Okay, here we go. And play.
All right. The video is very fancy. Oh my gosh. The mannequins. I'm seeing one mannequin. They have no heads. Instead of heads, they have drones. They have outfits. The outfits are flying. People are stopping. It's like in the middle of a busy a street in a city, too. So it's like impossible to not see. And they're flying. Turn that down a little bit. They're flying basically next to these buildings. And so people who are working in the buildings can just like look out the window and see these mannequins.
Yeah. And you can see, you can even see the price tag on the clothes.
Yeah.
So they're advertising the outfit and how affordable they are. It's just flying over like these streets and in front of buildings.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, there you have it. I mean, the same thing done two very different ways. One very fun and one that almost killed people.
There you go. What a world.
What a world, guys. And that is the end of episode 028. Ellie's mysterious jetpack guy.
I love it.
Just might be maybe someone trying to sell some clothes. I don't know.
Who knows? And if they are, they're trying to sell us camo.
That's right.
So,
stay interesting, everyone.
please do.